first game I'm going to show that I played is against Julio Becerra, American Grandmaster. I think he lives in Miami. This was the last round of the 2009 National Open in Las Vegas. So we played an exchange Slav. Then he played an aggressive way for black, trying to get two bishops. Played e6, which blocks in his bishop on c8. I played e3. Then he attacked my bishop, trying to get the bishop pair. I didn't want to get the bishop pair, so I played bishop g5. Played queen b6, attacking my b pawn. I played rook b1, defending my b pawn. Then he tried to win my bishop. And instead of playing bishop g3, I played the slightly better knight to d2. So now, if he takes my bishop, then I take his knight, and his pawn structure is messed up. So he moved his knight, fianchettoed his knight. Then he played knight f5 to get my bishop. Then he got my bishop. So black has the two bishops, but king's side is somewhat compromised, and his bishop on c8 is not very good. So the engine says white is slightly better. Put his queen back on d8, which is an unusual move. King f8's unusual, because he wanted to keep his rook on h8. So I played on the queen side, because that's where I have more space, according to Weird Man Tree. Sounds like Karen's vacuuming. Unlike me and Becerra, we didn't vacuum the board. Now he played bishop e8, which is a weird move. Played knight c5. Queen e7, defending his b pawn. Bishop e2, so my knight can go back to d3 instead of b3. Then I played f4. The engine wants me to play g4. What am I, Matt Larson? So in this position, he played a move I would never think of. So think of a move you would never think of, and that's what he played. Frankly, delicious. Sicilian Games is banned. Some of the moves suggested are illegal, And some moves suggested are okay. Okay, he played h5, which the engine doesn't say is that bad. It says I should take with the bishop, but I didn't want my bishop pinned, so I took with the rook, which it says is not a good move. Then he traded. And now he played one of the moves that you guys suggested in the previous position, e5, which also I didn't look at all. So I didn't understand h5, I didn't understand e5, and the engine says it's equal. So Becerra understands chess better than I do. I played the only move, f takes e5. Now in this position, it says piece sacrifice, knight takes e5 is equal. And also bishop h6 is equal. He played queen h4 check, which is also equal. I played king f1, which the engine doesn't like. It says king d2 is the best move. Then that move is equal. I don't think I saw that move either. But the engine says bishop h6, black is slightly better. Okay, this position, I played the only engine move that leads to equality. Let's see if anybody can find it. These games are from my career in chess. They're games that I beat grandmasters, played a long time ago. Knight e4, you're trying to get credit for both knight e4s. King g1 is shallow and pedantic. Amp SSBM with the double exclam. Undeserved, but still correct. Queen f3. That's the only move that leads to equality. The idea is I want to play knight e6 check. So he played queen h1, which is correct. I played king e2, which is correct. He played only move, queen takes rook. I played the only move, knight e6. He played only move, king g8. I played the only move, knight takes the rook. And engine says this is equal. Now, I'm a piece ahead. I have a piece that's hanging to two different things, but he has f7 hanging, and then I have an attack against his king. He played queen c2 check, which is correct. Now, in this position, he played d takes c3, which is correct. And this should end in a draw. And knight e6, this is still correct. Queen d1 is correct. Queen d2 is correct. Always repeat. And this position, he played queen d5 check, which probably loses. Queen d1 check, it should be a draw. And black gets to check a lot. Engine says white slightly better, 0.2, but 0.2 seems like a draw. After queen d5 check, it says white is +2. So I played king g3, which is correct. He took with check. And I played king f2. Now it says white's winning. I'm a pawn ahead. And what I'd like to do is play king e2 and then take the bishop and win the king and pawn endgame. If it's white's move, which it's not, but if it was white's move, I could play knight f8 check, and if king h8, knight g6 check wins his queen, and if instead he plays king h6, queen g6 is mate. So white to move is threatening knight f8 check with a winning position. So he checked on f6. It says that loses quite easily. Then king e2. And I'm a pawn ahead, but I'm going to win this pawn. So he found a way to not give this pawn up for nothing. Played c2, then bishop b2, threatening my a pawn and threatening the queen. So I have to take. And unfortunately for him, his 2-to-1 is no good. And my 2 passed pawns win. Engine says white's up 4.2. I didn't know if I was winning, but I knew I was trying to win. Then I played b5, fixing his pawns. Now I was pretty sure I was winning. So now if he takes the pawn, I check, take his bishop, and easily win the king and pawn endgame. So he played here. And in this position, I played a move and my opponent resigned. And actually, the move I played is winning, but it actually likes another move better. Man, the truth hurts. So anyway, I played e5, and then he resigned because if he has to play king f5, but that's just a losing endgame. Move by king up to d5. If he takes, I push one of my pawns, then I push the other one, then I push either one, and I make a queen. So after e5, he resigned. Yeah, knight d4 was recommended by the engine. But e5 is +7. So also good. Anyway, the main reason I like that game is it was the last round of the National Open, so I won a prize because I beat a higher rated player. Does g6 work too? Yeah, g6 also winning. Everything wins. But I like this variation because my pawns beat his bishop and king.